Welcome to How Do I Know You with your host Mark and Dwayne.
What up?
And today's topic is
Let's talk about the very controversial, in some aspects, heavyweight title fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury this weekend. Let's talk about some boxing, man. Let's talk about some fights and shit.
yay sports.
Sports. This won't all be sports, guys. So don't turn it off yet. We're gonna make it make some sense. We're gonna get there. So for all you guys who didn't see the fight, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you did, hopefully you did, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. It was a entertaining fight. I would say from what I saw, it was an entertaining fight that ended up in a draw, and it was the first fight that I've ever really seen that had two knockdowns in a draw, but it ended in a draw, and I would say for the most part, I mean, seeing the replay of it, because I saw the replay of it on YouTube like a couple days after. It was evenly judged. I don't think there was any like bullshit about it. But me being like a boxing purist, I would have given it to Wilder just for the knockdowns. But watching the fight, Tyson Fury did dominate that fight, boxing wise. So
Defense wise,
right
for sure.
Tyson Fury was just the way superior boxer than Deontay Wilder. But Deontay Wilder has hands of God. He can knock any man out with just one punch. And
Dude, he's 212 and he knocked down a 260-pound guy. What the fuck?
Deontay Wilder is 40-0, now 40-0-1 with 39 knockouts. The one dude that he didn't knock out, he rematched him and then knocked him out.
Had to get it.
Had to get it. And for you guys who didn't see the fight, the way he almost knocked out Tyson Fury in the 12th round, that no normal man is getting up from that.
Nah.
When you get hit with a right hand that was solid at the top of your head, and then as you're falling down, you get hit with a sledgehammer left hook dead on the chin, and then your head hit the back of the canvas, that's night-night.
Yep.
That's night-night in any situation, and he looked gone. He looked dead.
Yeah. If anyone's ever been hit by like even just a light hook, you're seeing white.
Yeah.
You're seeing white for at least a couple of seconds.
It's eye opening.
Yeah.
Then you'll start to know to move your head when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But he got up. He got up after just looking completely out. He got up at the count of 7, and then ended up, to me, actually winning the round after just looked like he was fucking. They were gonna have to.
Yeah, no.
That nigga
Fury was the better technical boxer, and I'm looking forward to the rematch just because Wilder was just going for that one punch. The whole fight, he was going for that one punch. He kept missing the overhead right.
It's every Wilder fight.
Really? Is that what he does every time?
Because his right hand, I'm telling you, it's like it's the hand of God. It like it can stop Thanos. Thanos fight Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder hit Thanos with a right,
he ain't snapping no more.
Look, he gonna lose one of them rings. All right, he gonna lose one of them, or fucking rings, stones. My bad. I was thinking about something else, but he gonna lose one of them stones. All right,
that's the pimp Thanos.
Oh, bitch. Where's my money?
I heard this joke about Thanos. He was just like, man, your mama's so fat, Thanos had to snap twice. I was like, damn.
Marvel got you. Deontay Wilder, that's most of his fight. Deontay Wilder, he kind of is like the modern day Mike Tyson, just taller and not as skilled. Mike Tyson
not as skilled, but he has the stamina.
Yeah, he has.
Especially for a heavyweight. Yeah,
but that was the thing that was in question about Deontay Wilder, because a lot of his fights didn't go past like the 5th round.
That's for both of them, though, right?
Yeah, Mike Tyson too. And then when Mike Tyson got into hot water, you see what happens.
No, I mean Fury. Did Fury's fights ever like last a distance?
Yeah, his Klitschko fight that he won the title went the distance. I think after that, that's when he got like on drugs and fat. So
yeah,
it's kind of after that. But I know that he was at least. No, actually, I shouldn't say that, because Wilder has had more fights. Especially, he's been in hot water these last couple of fights with Fury, and if you saw the Ortiz fight, so he's been
Ortiz is a pretty good fucking boxer. For how old is he?
I think 38, 39, something like that.
Ortiz? No, he's 40 for sure. I think he's 40.
Ortiz is
at least.
The thing about Ortiz though, every Cuban you ever see box are all nice because they're so technically skilled because that's like Cubans are master counterpunchers. That's it's boxing is crazy because just like MMA and stuff the different countries specialize in different things. So Cuba they're super amateur based and they all their top fighters go through the amateurs and everything like that. It's rare like Mexico is a little different because Mexico you'll just hear about a dude randomly and he'll be 50-0 but you've never seen him.
Yeah, and they're brawlers mostly.
Yeah, and then but with Cuban fighters they all go through the amateur ranks and they're such skilled technical boxers and counterpunchers that they last usually the longest out of all the countries. That includes the U.S. Because they're so skilled.
Yeah, and boxing's not as big as in the U.S. as it is over there.
Yeah, that's fucking
yeah.
It's damn near life to them. But the one thing I want to talk about with the fight that was interesting to me was because this was, in my opinion, Wilder's most popular fight. Yeah, and I feel
sure.
it wasn't even because of who he was fighting. I feel like people are just naturally drawn to racial undertones. And it was just because Tyson Fury being white, Deontay Wilder being black, the heavyweight championships on the line, and then you have, which we saw for pretty much the whole week, or at least the leading up to that fight, maybe around Wednesday, Thursday, Deontay's interview with the whole to this day. If that didn't make you want to watch that fight, just seeing how fucking intense he looked, he looked like he was gonna kill the dude who was interviewing him just for asking the question that he asked him. It just made you be like, oh, yeah.
Yo, but if that was me, though, if I was in the interview, though, I would not let him talk to me that way. He ain't gonna to this day me what?
Fuck you,
let's
Deontay.
Catch that fade.
Suck my dick, nigga.
I almost called him fiance because I was saying fade.
Ooh. Deontay, he called you fiance. I catch that, nigga. Deontay Wilder,
oh, man.
He would fuck.
God, I think he would, just do that flinch thing to me. And I'm oh.
If he ever hit on your head, he would split your shit like a fucking walnut. It would just be I'm oh man,
please sign my brain. It was an honor, sir. It was an honor, fiance.
Fucking Deontay Wilder's fucking Dredrick Tatum from The Simpsons, just a big motherfucker who remember when he hit Homer with the right and then it was just coming all slow and it was
bro, it's stop, he's not gonna get tired.
That's fucking Deontay Wilder. But fun fact, we met him one time. Nice dude, super nice. Yeah, you don't remember the shit we did with Head at that one party?
Oh, the New Year's party?
No. It was the party in Calabasas.
We met him? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder was there, and he was he just became heavyweight champ.
Really? Oh. Nicest
motherfucker ever, man. He was super cool. My girl took a picture of him, and he was all talking. He was and she didn't know who he was, and he was oh yeah, I'm Deontay Wilder heavyweight champ. She's oh okay, and then my girl don't care about boxing. I'm sitting oh my gosh, fucking Deontay Wilder. And then he's all cool to me. He was oh man, what's up, man? I told her, I was hey, can we take pictures for the station? He was oh yeah, man, go ahead. He's all posing and shit. I was this nigga's awesome.
Dang.
Has chicken legs though, but whatever.
I think I might have been definitely. Yeah.
He has chicken legs. Man.
I think I might have been somewhere else because I think I would remember meeting someone that tall.
I remember I pointed him out to you. I was that is the heavyweight champ of the world. But I said he wasn't big yet. In boxing, you knew about him, but he wasn't mainstream big yet. So yeah, but he was there. And yeah, so the racial undertones I think made the fight even so much more amped than what it was. Because before this, honestly, I didn't know about this fight until 2 weeks leading up to it, which I saw the promo for it.
Yeah.
And I was Deontay Wilder's fighting Tyson Fury? I'm when the fuck did Tyson Fury come back? Or whatever, right? And then just seeing the build-up from fucking the last 2 weeks, and then the interviews and shit, it just looked oh, these niggas hate each other. This is some real shit. And it made me feel oh, dude.
I'll give it up to Fury or Tyson because from what I saw, he never really made it racial.
Right, I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, he never really made it racial, even on I think Showtime has All Access, right?
Right,
It's the All Access one.
Niggas rip out 24/7.
Yeah, 24/7 All Access, whatever. all
I
that
mean,
same
well, you
shit.
could because Floyd made 24/7.
Did he?
For people who don't know that, Floyd Mayweather made the whole 24/7 shit for boxing. It was his idea. When he was with HBO, they made it for him. He was the first fighter to do it, and then what happened was they just kept going after that. And then when Floyd left, he just took it to Showtime.
Showtime, yeah.
But HBO still does it too. So he should have fucking like copied that or patented or something.
Yeah, he probably was like too young to think about
Yeah.
that. But now, I mean, he learned from it,
Now
obviously.
it's a genius idea.
But yeah, from what I saw, Fury never made it racial. He just kept going like he's a bum. He has no boxing skill. Like he's not a boxer. He's a brawler. He's like one
Right,
punch and blah
right.
blah. And all the shit he would talk would be about his skill.
Right.
And I was just like, not a lot of like, because like let's take it back to the McGregor thing, McGregor versus Floyd.
We're gonna get there.
Dude, he made it super like racist and
Off top. Well, he didn't. But again, this goes to racial undertones. Like, this is my.
he started
opinion.
doing that one thing where like white guys try to like, oh hey, homie,
Right.
They do that kind
right.
of shit.
And that's here's the thing, because like for people who don't know, like Europe and shit is super racist. Like
Yeah.
overseas, they like if you think America's bad, like you think the shit we go through here is like, man, go over there. They don't give a fuck.
Hell no, they're fucking.
They don't care. But the thing that McGregor did that was smart was he never openly said some racist shit, but he would do like the microaggressions.
Yeah.
If Adelpha was here, the microaggressions, which are like calling him boy and dance for me, boy, dance and you just like a fucking rapper who was like and shit like
What?
and like this, he would just say shit like that and then hold the whole like, oh, you can't read, and it's like making fun of his intelligence, calling him dumb, calling him like whatever. These are all like black stereotypes for white people in that community, and he's just amping it up and amping it up and amping it up. The thing about Floyd's all he cares about is money. He clad nigga 82 times. He don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm about to make this 300 million, and I'm gonna beat your ass. So this is what it is. But to me, that was the key to the fight. It had nothing to do with the people who were fighting. The racial undertones made it amazing. Which leads me to my first question about all this shit, right? Do you think, like, boxing, or let's just say any combat sports in general, do you like it when it's purely based on skill and it's like you're seeing a great fighter versus a great fighter, or do you like when it's story driven?
Ooh. Honestly, I like both, but if I had to choose, I would go with the skill thing, just because when you're watching the fight, all you really care about is like, damn, who's he gonna knock that? Who's gonna throw like that crazy like technical punch or whatever, just to get that hit. So yeah, I would say if I had to choose, the technical.
So that's for you personally. Now, what do you think the general public cares about?
The casuals, they care about the story, because that's all they have. They have like that one story, and whoever they like better, and that's what they're going for. Right.
And for years, boxing has done this so well, which UFC is just now picking up on. Mm-hmm. What they've done is they market racism. It's what they do, but no one really realizes it because at the end of the day, it's combat. So it's like, well, if he says some slick shit, you can face him in the ring when it's time and fuck him up for it or whatever, right? So they don't. It's like no one catches it, but they've been marketing blacks and Latinos against each other forever.
Of course.
They've been marketing Cubans and Puerto Ricans against each other forever. They've been marketing fucking Irish and the English against each other forever. Like, it's all based off of like racism. Like every good fight that you've like thought about, good fight series or whatever, it was all based off of racism. Fucking Leonard Duran, fucking Ali Frazier, racism. Like, even it was two niggas, but Ali was calling him Frazier and Uncle Tom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking some other shit. Tyson Lewis, all about Mike Tyson being like, nigga, you a phony, you a proper nigga, you ain't a real nigga. And Lennox Lewis being like, bloody fuck you up. Like, and he did. Like, and like I can go on and on and on. And like it was based off of just like there's like few like really great fights that didn't have the storyline of some sort of like they would call it disrespect, but it was really just racial shit, right?
Yeah.
Like Hagler Hearns was like fucking just pure like I think I could fuck you up. I think I could fuck you up. Let's go at it then. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, this is purely skill based or whatever, but everything, like, every great fight series you can think of fucking was just based off of, like, racial shit. You know, like, and I feel like boxing has marketed it that way so well that when UFC came about, they never took the blueprint because they were always trying to build up to get to boxing's level.
Yeah.
So when they got to the point where they were actually prominent, it then started to take the blueprint of it, which you would have the fucking Brazilians versus the Americans, then fucking the English versus the Irish, and then it's the same exact fucking formula.
Do you think it wouldn't be as popular if it wasn't for racism?
Honestly, no.
So you think it would have died out?
I think it would have died out by now, but because it's just like, to me, it's just like soccer. Because the thing that I think drives soccer is it's not like a team versus a team. It's a country versus a country. Like when you see these fucking stadiums, niggas is brawling in the fucking crowd. Like they ain't looking at this like this is a game. Like nah, this is like I don't fuck with them over there. I'm gonna prove it today. Niggas is getting in the fights. They have all kind of chants already like ready for shit and everything like that. And it's the same like that's to me that's why soccer is the most fucking popular sport in the world because it has nothing to do with like, oh, everyone plays and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, of course, for most countries when they got established and they started to like reach some level of financial stability, then they got basketball and everything else.
Yeah, you get the entertainment.
Yeah, you get the entertainment aspect of it. Soccer still thrives today purely because it's country based. It has nothing to do with the teams. Like you don't give a fuck about no one gives a fuck about the MLS in America.
I don't know.
No one cares.
Not until the World Cup comes.
When the World Cup comes, shit is live, right? Because it's like, yo, fucking these teams, like, come on, man. Like, it's all based off racism. Yeah. Like,
I've heard this one, someone told this story about, like, I think it was England versus Germany. Mm-hmm. And England had this chant where it was going like, stand up if you won the war. And they would all just stand up. Just leaving Germany just in there.
Come on, man. It's all just... Yeah. All based off shit
history,
like that.
Just like deep history, especially overseas.
Yeah, so that's what makes it great. So then when it comes to like actual... And of course, we're boxing fans. So we're going to look at it like we would want it to stay just for the skill aspect of it.
Yeah.
But...
I never go for the race thing of like...
Right, me either.
Like, oh, because the boxer's Mexican, I got to go for the Mexican. If not, you're a race traitor and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up with that shit. Casuals.
Are you getting into something? Are you triggered right now? Are you
a little triggered? I'm a little It's something. No, I just hate it, man. It's just like
you don't like that.
Fuck up, man. It's just like go for the better boxer.
But see, look what you just did right there. Like again, come on. How many times has Floyd fought? And that's the thing. Floyd made all his money honestly off the backs of Mexicans.
Well, yeah, because he would fight every single.
Because he would fight not even that. He would fight every single Mexican because he knew Mexicans care about boxing so much, they hate niggas. They will pay to see me get my ass kicked, even though I won't. And they will fucking come and buy tickets to watch because they're going to root on their dude, even though they know for a fact he can't beat me. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. It's all based off of racism. It's purely racism. And then even the funny part is even when someone like Floyd would fight like a fucking Maidana, who's I believe is from fucking Argentina. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even fucking Mexican. Like, they would still go for it. Like, just like if you speak Spanish, my nigga, like we want you to win. Like,
it's just so annoying hearing that shit. It's just like it's like the saying like, oh, you're not black if you talk proper or you're smart.
Exactly.
It's the same shit. I'm just like, shut the fuck up with that fucking dumbass fucking shit.
Fucking
idiots.
Fucking when Broner fought I forgot.
He fought Maidana too, and
he lost. But it was he fought someone and he had beat him, and then he did his infamous fucking he's the can man. Anybody can get it. A fucking whatever, a Mexican and all this shit. And then the one fucking promo where he was like, after the fight, he was just like, I need to go back to so and so because I'm tired of eating fucking tacos and burritos and shit. And everything. It's like it's racist. Like it's purely racist, but he's gonna say it because it's gonna
Yeah, it
sell.
sells, yeah.
Like you're gonna want to see him get his ass kicked, and it's just like
It's the low hanging fruit for real.
super low hanging fruit. But that's the thing that I feel like that's made it great over the years because you have those things. So let's just say if they were to take, let's just fuck boxing for a second.
Fuck boxing.
Wait, hold on.
Just for a second. Just for a second.
Just for a second. Do you think sports would be better if it was all country based?
Better, like in that sense of like more people rally behind it.
Right. Like, do you think people would watch? Because I'm also a huge baseball fan, baseball purist, right?
Yeah.
Do you think people would watch baseball more if they took away like teams and then just made like the best players in the world play for their country? And then you would watch that in a season, and like the World Series,
Same kind of way they do the World Cup.
same way, but it's like every year. Instead of just fucking like every 4
Yeah,
years.
it'd be just as big as a World Cup then, because soccer has different leagues of like just their country plays each other, and like you never hear about that shit. Like even here, I mean, America, you definitely don't hear about that shit.
Right, it's very rare.
So yeah, I think it would if we all made every sport just nation based or country based. Then yeah, it'd be like everyone would be fucking behind it. We'd all be like cheering for the same team and all that crap, knowing every stat about every player and blah blah blah. So yeah, I think it would.
I feel like that's like the cool thing about
Racism.
racism sells, man.
Really binds us together.
It binds us together, and we have a common enemy: white people. But it's like it's crazy just how like again that fight was purely just sold off racism, and then everyone just is drawn to it. Now everyone wants to see a rematch of something that they didn't care about.
Yeah.
They could be a damn lie and say that they did. Only boxing fans cared about that fucking fight. There was no casual people at all. I've heard people at work talking about, "Oh, did you see the fight? Did you see the fight?" Never. They didn't talk about the fight or any fight this whole year.
Yep.
Like and I feel like when it comes to boxing today, I feel like boxing has taken its rightful place back atop the fucking combat sports world because boxing has way better storylines than like
they have
MMA.
They have
UFC.
better storylines for sure, and they have these better fights,
right?
like these more entertaining fights lately,
Right?
Because every time maybe 4 or 5 good UFC fights, good main events, and all that crap.
Right.
I can't think of them off my head, but like at least those. Boxing has way more like cool, like oh shit, they're fighting. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that shit. Like damn, blah blah blah. Like this upcoming week, I think Lomachenko's fighting. I'm like, I'm definitely watching Lomachenko fight. Like it's
Lomachenko.
Yeah.
The top UFC main events I can think about this year, obviously McGregor Khabib. McGregor Khabib.
But it's always the same people though.
DC and Stipo.
DC and the other heavyweight.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, is that his name?
Yeah, Stipe.
Everyone calls him the Beast. That's what I call him.
I call him. Well, it's what Stipo Miocic or whatever the fuck. But Stipo, or Stipe, whatever the fuck. The white dude. That was good.
But what I'm saying is like you kind of always just hear about the same people.
Yeah.
All the time.
Pretty much. And they are struggling now because they're like, because all this shit at the end of the day is wrestling, and I'll tell you why. But they're struggling now because they can't create new stars, and their biggest star just happened to make a shitload of money fighting Floyd, and he walked out.
Boxing,
and he made it.
UFC definitely played themselves doing the whole Adidas sponsorship thing.
Yeah.
Exclusive shit, not getting your fighters money. They all bounce. Like all the fucking big time people bounce.
Right, and it's so. Now they have this dilemma of we have to put on these pay-per-views, but a lot of people that we, have that are actually on the main events, no one cares about or no one knows because, again, unless you're an actual UFC fan, you don't know these fucking, you don't know these fighters from fucking some dude at Walmart.
Yeah.
You really don't. Like, Come on, man. Like,
And they're not always the best because they don't have the money for their training camp.
right.
Like the money that they would make fighting, the purse for the fight, it's not enough to cover training camp, which is
Right.
sad. Like that fucking
So
sucks.
that's why, like, now UFC is reaching out to like people like Brock Lesnar is like the smartest person to me in combat sports who isn't named Floyd Mayweather, because Brock Lesnar is legit he just keeps leveraging himself against the UFC in wrestling all the time. So every time his deal's about to end, he's like, well, okay, wrestling, okay, WWE, I'm going to go back to UFC now. I'm done with you guys. And they're like, wait, hold on, let's talk about this. And then he goes to Dana White and he's like, all right, man, they're offering me this. I think I got about 2 more fights in me. You know I'm your biggest draw ever, right? Hold on. Let's see if we can get something done. Goes back to fucking Vince. All right, Vince, they said they can give me this for this amount of money. And now, I don't really care about fighting that much. And the fake shit is a lot easier on my body. And he's been doing shit like that, right? So, like, if their biggest draw is someone who's wrestling right now, which is Lesnar, McGregor is their biggest draw today.
Yeah.
But he, is he still fucking suspended? Him and Khabib?
I don't think so. I think it just got all like put under the rug and it's whatever now.
Right. Okay. So he is fucking reinstated. But now the only fight you want to see McGregor have is against Khabib.
Yeah.
The one dude that they still I don't even think have they still even paid Khabib, because I think he's still pissed off at them.
Whoa! If they haven't paid him, yeah, that's fucked up.
I think they're still holding his money. I could be wrong on this, probably him, but like he's still pissed off at the UFC. And that's their biggest fight that they can sell. They just reinstated John Jones because they had no stars.
Yeah.
Really, like they want to mask it and be like, oh no, because he served his time and everything like that.
No.
You get caught not only with you get popped for coke one time, then you get popped for PEDs twice, nigga.
Yeah.
like you shouldn't be there.
Yep.
But they gave you another.
If they had any other person,
anybody
that
else
brings in the crowd,
they would be like, fuck this guy.
Yep.
Hey man, like, but because they don't, John Jones is back in the spotlight again, which is fine for me because I'm a fucking JBJ fan. I love John Bones Jones. Also, I think he's fucked up a lot. Like, so to me, it just goes to show that without any stars, without an actual storyline,
yeah,
there's no reason to watch these fucking these fights. So what boxing has done is it's made everything a storyline. Like if you fucking like the welterweights or whatever, you have the crazy storyline of fucking all the great welterweights in the world right now, and fucking Errol Spence and Thurman and fucking Broner to a degree, fucking like just all these great fighters, Danny Garcia, all these great fighters who are all pretty much trying to get to the spot of unifying these belts, right?
Yeah.
And then you have fucking someone like Lomachenko lurking because he's trying to move up to get more money because he's wiped out everyone at 126.
Yep.
So he's lurking, trying to be like, all right, who can I fight? Who can I fight? And everything like that. You have fucking, no one even knows this. I don't think anyone knows, but Broner's fucking fighting Pacquiao soon.
Ugh.
Like,
does anyone really want to see that, though?
and fucking Pacquiao's still out there lurking, right? And then fucking, how can I forget? Terrence Crawford. Bud Crawford, the beasting still. Like, you have all this storyline of it. Like, the whole storyline in the welterweight division is legit. Who's going to get to the fucking top first?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's going to get to the point where they can unify both belts and be the man?
It's like the champions versus the champions.
Right. Who's going to
Like,
take Floyd's spot? Because since he's gone, there still hasn't been a number one.
He's not coming back. I don't like all these talks about him like fighting people and blah blah blah. I think that's just to say like, hey, look at me a little bit, just because like I think maybe he got used to being in the spotlight so much.
But you see, the thing about Floyd is he has put himself in a position that if he did, in fact, want to actually fight someone for real, he has put himself in a position to get the most money possible. So I feel like when he does shit like that, where he's like, it's a possibility, or whatever, something can happen. It's usually because he sees the landscape and he's like, because again, Floyd isn't stupid, right? And he's still, I don't even think he's 40 yet. Is he 40 yet? I think he's like 39 maybe.
Yeah, he's almost 40.
He's almost 40 though. Like, I'm sorry, for someone who doesn't take any punishment at all, and the worst thing about Floyd is his hands. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, again, Father Time waits for no man, but also if someone like him who always stays in shape, is never out of shape, is always in the gym, even when he says he's not, he's always in the gym. Fucking stays in great physical and mental shape. I don't see how he's smart. He looks at these fighters and he's like, Errol Spence, nah, I can't fuck with him. I ain't gonna do that one. But now, if somehow he gets hurt, or fucking if he somehow loses, then fucking like Danny Garcia's in there. Like I can fuck Danny Garcia up easy. Like let me start talking shit. You know, like that's what Floyd does. Fucking Keith Thurman's out there. Keith Thurman trash. Let me start talking shit about Keith Thurman. Like that's what he does, and then he waits and sees the interest, and then someone if they want to fight and they offer him the money, he's like, all right, I'll put that shit on, win the belt, and then leave again and not care. Fuck this belt. Like, and that's what Floyd does, right? So the storyline is always like these kids are trying to come up and be number one. You have the two old legends, Pacquiao and Floyd in the back, kind of lurking. Like, we'll take any of y'all niggas out if y'all really want it like that. Fucking, you go to fucking middleweight. You had fucking Triple G and Canelo. That was the whole fucking middleweight division this year. We were just waiting for that fight. Mm-hmm. Like every division has a fucking storyline, and UFC they do not have that. And I feel like that's something that in life in general, people just they want to be enamored by something. Like when we were in high school and shit, right? When fights were happening, the initial running to the fight thing was because oh shit, there's a fight happening, right? Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong. Afterwards, everyone always ask the question of what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
Why they fight? People think that like we're like bloodthirsty, and humans are bloodthirsty. It's like, oh, you guys just want to see blood. It has nothing to do with blood. It has everything to do with you're seeing these two people put their lives on the line, but the fucking romantic aspect of it is the story behind it.
Yeah, just like picture yourself if you run up in a fight and whatever happens, but then afterwards you ask the question, oh, what happened? Like that, right?
Right.
Do you want the answer of, oh, they just fought just because they wanted to fight? Or do you want the answer to be like, oh, I think that dude was talking to that dude's girl, or like that dude's girl was like giving the eyes, blah, 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 or that shit, blah, blah, blah.
All this shit happened.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if it's like they just start fighting, you'd be like, what the fuck? Why? That's
yeah,
stupid.
Exactly.
That's
like,
stupid. And I feel like that shows the casual fan's perspective on prime example. I was a couple months back I was helping my girl get a car. This was around the time of the Triple G Canelo fight. It was that night. And the guy who was talking to me, I told him, I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch the fight tonight. He's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to watch it too and everything. He's like, who you going for? I was like, oh, Triple G and everything. And he's like, yeah, man, it's gonna be a good fight though. He's like, I'm just glad it's no Mayweather. And I was like, why? And then he was like, I don't like Floyd's fighting, man. It's like he's a chicken, he runs and everything like that. And I was like, so wait a minute, you want me to stand and let you hit me, and you don't really care about their well-being afterwards? He's like, no, I'm not saying that. He's like, I understand, like, the whole fucking defensive, practices and everything like that. I get it.
Just not when Floyd does it.
Again, that's the racist part of it.
Yeah.
This person was not black at all. But he was like, I get all that stuff, but also he's like, you got to be a man. You got to be a man. If someone's throwing blows, you're gonna want to get in there and throw blows too. And I was just like, see, you're making it romantic, which it's not that at all.
Yep, it's not.
It's not that at all, because I can tell that you've never either been hit or you've never sparred with someone. That shit is not romantic. You were fighting for your life, pretty much. And again, he made it something romantic. He made it like a fucking story. And he's like, oh no, if I'm in there, then I'm going. His words were, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out on my back, and things like that. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Nigga hit you one time real hard, you gonna clinch up.
Yeah. It's like, sure, buddy.
Like you're not gonna want this at all, right?
Yeah, dude. Because because like to fight someone like that's saying shit like that, they've never sparred, they've never done anything like that. So when they do, and you get them in the position, you be like, hey, now remember what you said.
Right.
Don't run now. Like, no defense.
Exactly. And that's the funniest part about all this shit. But to me, it goes back to everyone wants to make it romantic. Yeah. They want to have that. People will fucking. They will watch. I mean, they won't watch like fucking two random fighters fight
Yeah, no.
If they're fucking not known, they
If
won't
they're
care.
if they're casuals, but like if you tell us, like someone tells us, hey, I hear Floyd and Lomachenko gonna fight. No story needed. I'm watching that fight, like
Yep.
regardless of whatever
No
story.
story needed, but it's like they won't watch two random up and comers fight who are like destined for fucking greatness. They won't care about that, but they will fucking watch Rocky in theaters.
Creed, all that, yeah.
Like
Inspired.
and Rocky's been out since '76 or whatever the fuck. Like, and it's like, because you want to know why? There's a story behind it is so captivating. And oh my god, he was basically homeless. And then he's been fighting to survive. And he's in love. And Apollo's again. Also, Rocky was fucking racist because I mean they made fucking Carl Weathers like the fucking cocky nigga who was like, I beat anybody. And then he's like, I'm so good that I'm gonna fight one of y'all niggas on the street. And then the whole fucking the hardworking white man who had to grind and get his way. The hardworking white man was like, I'll fight you. And then that's the whole story.
Oh, that's funny because in real life it's the reverse.
Yep. Apollo would beat the dog shit out of Rocky in real life.
Remember that Eddie Murphy bit where he was just like telling like after that movie really came out, like all the white people were just like, I'll take that. What do they call them, mooks or something?
Fucking moolie.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I think he said like one day he walked out and then he got into some fight with some Italians and he was like, they all of a sudden they were like, come on, like and everything. Like, he was like,
he's like, oh, you just saw Rocky. Yeah.
But I think it's a big fucking like they romanticize like
they definitely do because I mean anytime when you're a kid and you're picturing a fight, how easily do you win in your head?
Oh yeah,
like the person
super easy.
Like the person just forgets to move.
Yeah, or you do some shit where you kind of dodge and they swing and you're like, see it.
Yeah, like it's like it's so slow.
You come out with the perfect counter and shit. And like, yeah,
it's the best. I mean, it's fucking awesome when
everyone wins in their head. But I guess my next question would be: do you feel like with boxing now, like pretty much reinstating its dominance over like because this year it's pretty much and no one's really cared about UFC besides McGregor, Khabib. Do you think UFC will be able to like start back to getting those stories again? Like, because when you have someone like, because the thing that UFC does is they kind of just put it all on one person, which is bad. Like it was Lesnar.
It's the eggs in a basket thing.
Yeah, they put it all on Lesnar, and then Lesnar, flamed out. Then it was Ronda. Ronda flamed out. Then fucking, it was John Bones Jones. John Bones Jones fucking fucked himself. Yeah. Then it was McGregor. They just keep doing
it's only one person at a time.
Always one
not
person.
Even like the ones below or like
right.
And sometimes even their champs are just like boring as fuck, like Khabib. I mean, skilled fighter, like for sure, but boring.
He'd eat your children.
Yeah,
but you don't want to watch him, like because he's gonna be nice. He's gonna be like, oh, he's very skilled and
yeah,
what the fuck, like, but you don't want to watch him. But if you're a fan, you want to watch him. So, my next question, I guess, would be: do you think, with how boxing has put itself back atop of like the combat sports world this year, at least, do you think UFC has the ability to find stars and like have storylines again, or do you think it's like they officially flamed out?
I say their only chance would be once that Adidas deal ends. They could start.
I think you mean Reebok.
Is
you
it
keep
Reebok?
saying Adidas.
Fuck,
yeah.
I keep saying Adidas.
It's
yeah.
Reebok.
I think I was just looking at it earlier in the day. Reebok. They as soon as that deal ends, hopefully who's ever in charge could get some like storylines together, convince actual like people that are big in like Bellator or like Pride Fights, whatever, to come join, and then they just got to get some people from like the WWE.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like to create those like little storylines, and they play along a little bit with it because. They play along as far as it's like they want to fight these people, right?
Right.
Just punch it up a little bit for the fans.
Like the best fighters or the most successful fighters have been the fighters that actually watch wrestling, which is the funny part. Like,
but that shit fake.
But they have learned the whole air. Like they've learned the skill of being a character and selling yourself. So it's like. Which is funny because you don't see people leave wrestling and go fight. Only people you've seen is, I think, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. But you see people leave the UFC to go be a wrestler because A bunch.
Yeah.
Because the whole aspect of it is like, wait, I don't have to actually take punishment, at least a lot. And, well, no, it's still a lot, but whatever.
It's manageable.
It's manageable punishment. I can be safe and actually make more money doing this than I can training my ass off and actually putting my life on the line.
Yeah.
And all I have to do is just talk shit more. Like, that's all I have to do is be a better character. And it's so crazy to me because so many fighters don't find that, like, formula. They just, like, that's why I don't like, Khabib will never be as popular as he is today. And it's because McGregor pissed him off so much.
Yep.
It made him talk. Before, like, I knew about Khabib because, again, I'm a UFC, I'm an MMA fan. Khabib was just running through people. And it was like, in the community, it was like, damn, Khabib's a fucking beast. Right. No one cared about, no one knew who the fuck this dude was, right? Like, but fast forward, he has an issue with McGregor. The whole tour bus incident happens, and now this nigga's everywhere. And now you can't think of MMA without thinking about Khabib. Because of the shit that Conor did, right? So, again,
but he's not playing it right because he went into, like, I'm not gonna say hiding, but, like, he's not in the public's eye,
right?
He's not selling himself,
which is, I get it, because, you know, some people have customs and things like that, and morals, whether they don't want to get into stuff like that. But if you want to make money in this sport, if you want to make money as a
fighter,
it's
the smart thing to do because it's one of the shortest careers. I think one of the shortest and dangerous careers.
Floyd made the blueprint. I believe he's the one who said the key to, like, prize fighting is price. It's key. Like, if you're gonna fight, you fight for money. Like, don't take no stupid shit just because the pride of the sport. Because the sport won't give a fuck about you after it's over.
Yep,
they will not.
Fans won't pay your bills.
They will not. Like, so I don't understand the aspect of, like, and again, this goes back to people fucking romanticizing this shit. Like, they want to see, like, oh, I just want to go back to when the best fighters were fighting the best fighters. Okay,
why?
Again, guys, back in the 70s and 80s, they had no choice. All right?
Yeah.
Like, they had no fucking choice, first of all. One. Two, the best fighters had the best promoters, so then the money was there. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like, or they had the same promoter. Yeah. So, they had no choice or whatever, right?
Also, I just think that you forget, like, those fighters that, like, had to do that shit. Like, you see them for that little bit of, like, those undercard fights.
Right.
Dive deep into the life. Look how fucking probably super hard and sad. But you want them to be, like, for the pride of the fight. Fuck that, man. It's all about money.
Do it for the love, man.
Of money.
Like, come on, man. Like, I bet you, if we ever do get, like, a James Toney, or even if I ever fucking got to interview Roy Jones, that'd be awesome. But if Roy Jones would sit here, right, and talk about all this shit he did for boxing, Roy Jones was the blueprint for someone like a Floyd Mayweather. Not the same exact blueprint when it comes, because Roy Jones went from fucking, I believe, middleweight to heavyweight champ, which is insane. But Roy Jones was the blueprint because he was the first boxer that I could remember that had it all, was athletic, and also knew that, like, being a showman was what people wanted to see. The only thing that was different was Roy didn't talk shit like Floyd. Right. Like, but Roy was a showman. Like, the motherfucker rapped, and he understood, like, when he would fight, he would put his hands down, do the chicken neck shit and everything like that, because he was so skilled he could do it. The only thing that Floyd did, because when Roy was on top, Floyd was coming up. Floyd just watched him and was like, I can do the same exact shit, but I'm just going to talk shit. Because I realized that these people don't give a fuck about my skill.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather was a great fighter before the Money Mayweather persona.
Yeah. He was the nicest guy, too.
Amazing guy. You didn't hear shit about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the reason you people hate him now is because of Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather didn't start until Oscar De La Hoya. That's when that became a thing.
Yep.
Like, once he won that fight, won the belt from De La Hoya, unified all the titles, then he became Floyd Money Mayweather. And it wasn't Pretty Boy Floyd anymore, because he realized that, holy shit, I just made the most money ever for any fight I've ever done. All I did was just talk shit.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers paid to see me get my ass kicked, but I knew it wasn't going to happen.
I hear that Oscar De La Hoya has the blueprint for defeating Floyd. He says it like all the time. I believe him.
I know what it is. I know.
Every one of his fighters lost.
Women's panties, cocaine.
That fucking UFC fight he promoted, lame as shit.
Oh my god, that
was sad. So sad.
Again, people, this goes back to these people don't give a fuck. Like, Chuck Liddell should not have been in there.
You know what? I didn't know this about him, but like, I guess from all the fights in like the UFC and everything, if there's like if his adrenaline spikes and like there's a punch coming, his brain would just shut down because he's been punched so many times that like it's the defense mechanisms that his brain had to like come up with. Like, that's fucking crazy.
The last time I saw Chuck Liddell for real, like, again, was another event that we did.
Yeah.
It was that celebrity football.
He was huge, man.
He was fat as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, Chuck Liddell should not. He was done. Like, he took that shit for the money.
Yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya is an asshole for even allowing that shit.
Yeah. He didn't even know
he didn't know anybody.
The name. And he fucked them over because he labeled them as like amateur fights so that you didn't have to pay them that much, like $1,000 maybe or something like that. Just sad.
That shit is crazy. Like,
fuck Oscar De La Hoya, man.
But again, it all goes back to the story of everything. He sold that fight off of the story of Tito and Chuck.
Yeah.
The first two fights. Like, so I don't know. I feel like UFC, if they create some more stars, they can do it. But it's who wants to be a star, pretty much.
It's gonna be if the people in charge aren't like these purists and like, well, you gotta be like this and like this is the way it should be done and blah blah blah, then they'll be fine, I think. If they could survive until that point.
Right. There's a fighter named Colby Covington who's supremely nice. And he's talked about fighting Khabib and everything because Colby Covington, the thing about him is he does not get tired. His stamina is incredible. Like, he will legit look like in his fights he'll be in like the 5th round and it'll still look like he's fucking in the 1st round. Like, he's amazing. And his whole thing, because he understands it, because he also likes wrestling, he's like such a good bad guy. Like, he just talks about, I think his last fight, he talked about how he was gonna beat the guy, and then he was gonna put the belt. He was gonna give the belt to Donald Trump because this is Trump's America. Like, just genius shit, right? And because I think the dude he was fighting was a Brazilian, but it was just genius shit.
That's awesome.
And then it was like, and he knows that like people will pay to see me either way, but they'll pay more to see me get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Again, it's my job to make sure they don't do that. But either way, I get paid, right?
It's the whole like when nice guys ask like why do the girls love the assholes, the asshole guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the same kind of concept basically.
Same exact thing. The assholes, and that's something that I feel like we used to ask too. We were like, I don't get it, man. Like,
I get it now because I'm an asshole.
Yeah. But it's like, you start to realize that it's not because they're assholes. It's because they're memorable.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with them being dicks. It's because a girl can remember what the fuck they did other than you being like, oh, you look nice today and everything, and oh, thank you, and oh, let me get that for you. Okay, sure, whatever. But they can think about the dude being like, you a bitch. And she's like, what? And that whole argument they just had or whatever, and they'll go home and think about that shit, and then they'll think about that person forever. And it's purely due to that person, maybe not knowingly, but they have made themselves memorable. They've made themselves a character. The nice guy is not a character.
It's a background.
He's just a fucking entity. He's a being. He's just there. Like, and you can easily replace said nice guy with another nice guy. Yeah. It's the same thing.
It's the reward system. It's like when you get a compliment from the person that was like being an asshole all the time, it's a reward,
right?
So like our brains crave like rewards. That's why like drugs. Drugs are rewards.
That's why you should fucking take ecstasy.
Hit me up at 555.
It's got this weird fucking shit.
This whole thing is about me trying to sell my drugs. It's a promo for it. No, but it is that it's like a science thing or whatever. I read that shit somewhere.
Whatever, I read it somewhere, man. So you gonna believe it?
But yeah, it's just that's what it is. You get rewarded. You want to get rewarded for seeing Floyd get knocked out, for talking all this shit and blah blah blah. You know,
and that's what makes him the perfect bad guy. That's what makes all this that's what makes you love these sports, people.
Yeah,
at least casual fans.
For the casual fans, the hardcore fans, man, yeah,
we care about. We understand why fucking check hook looks so beautiful. We understand why head movement is amazing. We understand
why Floyd's counter is insane.
Right, we understand all this shit, but for the casual viewer who watches like fights or whatever, they're not into it for the level of the sport. They're not into it for whatever. They're into it for because it is romantic.
Yeah,
it's romantic at the end of the day. It's a story and it looks good and it's fucking appealing. That's how it's marketed. That I had like a brain fart. I was like, that's how it's marketed. That's how it's marketed. That's how it's fucking promoted. That's how it's fucking presented. It's presented like these two people hate each other, but they don't. They don't even know each other.
No, not even Gregor with Khabib. Like Gregor was just like it was all business. Like it's been confirmed
that he said fuck that.
Yeah, Khabib took that shit serious. Khabib, you don't fuck Khabib.
See, like
you don't fuck with somebody that wrestled bears as a kid
and won.
A bear's still his bitch to this day.
That pet bear became a fucking real bear, and it's still at his house.
I hear he makes him wear a tutu. That's crazy.
Damn.
That's fucked up. That's a bear. It's not his choice. Anyways, if you want to find us out.
I was going to let you keep going on with the bear shit. I'm like, how long is he going to go with this shit? But, yeah, so, I guess, I know this is gonna be the hot take, right? You ready, guys? The UFC will never be as popular as boxing again, as long as they don't have any stars.
Yeah, if they keep going the same way they're going, they're gonna flame out.
It's
gonna go back to what it was before. Like you were just hearing about it.
It's a very niche thing where it's like, oh, it's cool if you watch it, but whatever. It will never reach the heights that it did when it had the people that it had, because there is no story behind any of these people. Which
really sucks because it takes a lot of skill to be an MMA fighter. Like,
it does.
I've like recently, like in this past year, I started training with not like really hardcore, but like every now and then,
right,
with my coworker, and he's an actual like he's been like doing this his whole life. He like for the first time he showed me how to kick, and then he like did those drills where like you're kicking each other's legs. He kicked me on the leg, not even like half power. That shit hurts so much. You gotta get used to it. Like the only way to get used to it is just keep getting kicked. But I was like, damn. And then when I see those like fighters and like they're taking full blast kicks, I don't even know how they're standing. It's insane. Also, he's kicked me in the chest, which really is it hurts. He did a 300 thing when I was like charging him. He went boom, and I was just like, sorry. So I got kicked in the chest. Sorry.
How the fuck you fart out your throat?
I could do it again. Look.
Turns into a gay porn. It's like, oh. He's fucking his throat. But yeah, so the UFC to me will not reach the heights that boxing has reestablished itself as its number one combat sport in the world today, just because they got the people, they got the stories, they have all the characters, they have all the fucking, you want to pay to watch them.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's our opinion. Whatever you guys think, go ahead and comment right under all this shit. Tell us about all the fights you saw this year. Tell us about the shit that we didn't talk about, because I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of fights we didn't talk about.
Yeah, argue with us.
We appreciate it. We enjoy it. Bring it.
Yeah.
We want more of it.
We like talking.
And please do not forget to like and subscribe. Especially subscribe, guys. Subscribe.
Yeah. Hit that bell, because then you get notifications when we release shit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, actually.
It's
a very exclusive.
Don't you want to know when we post shit?
Don't you?
Because it's us.
I would.
It's us.
Yeah.
Us. One more time. Just want to get that out there. Us. But, all right, you want to get the fucking plugs out?
Yes. You could find us on YouTube at How Do I Know You. You can find us really easy if you just search for the hashtag
HDIKY. Once again, that's HDIKY. KY.
Subscribe and like.
Yes.
And you can find us on Twitter at How Do I Know You.
Subscribe and like.
Number 1, little picture of hippo. You can find my personal Twitter at I am Mark. My
Subscribe and like.
Instagram is Mr. Lucky005.
Subscribe and like.
I post that shit there sometimes too.
You can find me on Twitter at DCJunior13. Subscribe and like. You can find me on Instagram at DCJuniorBFSB.
And truly, guys, we like discussing shit with you guys. We like your opinions. Sometimes we'll just post it just to get, another side of things. Sometimes we'll respond back if we could think of something.
But talk to us, man. What do you guys think about fucking combat sports in general this year? What's going on? What do you see on the horizon for next year? What are you expecting? Is Floyd gonna die?
Whoa.
Is Floyd broke? Oh. Is Canelo a steroid whore? Is Triple G finished? Does McGregor fight again in the UFC? Does Khabib kill McGregor this time? You let us know.
All this next time on...
I was gonna say something, but I don't want them to have it yet.
Not yet. You can't.
Y'all don't get our mock Fox shows yet. Not yet.
Not yet. One day.
But if one thing is, of course, for sure, if I don't know, and you don't know,
who really knows?
And how do I know you? See you guys next week. Quick show today because we ain't got shit to talk about. So we talked about what the fuck we knew, which was boxing.
Fun.
So next week, hopefully Adelpha will be back.
Yeah, back to the serious topics.
Talk to the serious shit and
real debates.
Yeah, and fucking woo, y'all all mad in the comments. Ooh. That's why you guys mad.
Your little animal's going grrr.
Actually, no, wait, we're being old. It's on the phone.
Oh yeah, we're doing the oh shit, we're old.
We're doing the old school YouTube shit that no one does anymore.
Into the future one where it's just like the eyes.
Yeah. No, it's just the eyes. Just like a long ass paragraph at the bottom.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck all three of you guys. Okay. First of all,
just typing furiously with his eyes.
Canelo is amazing, guys.
It's all race based. And...
yeah, you know it's also race based. Your face, bitch.
Ouch. That hurt. That future comment hurt.
I know, man. Whatever, guys.
All right, we'll go cry.
See you guys.
Laters.
Peace.